Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our yoga practice for August the 21st, 2023. Come to a seated position towards the front of your chair. Distribute the weight evenly on the right and left and front and back of the sit bones. Close the eyes, focus in on the breath, and prepare yourself for our practice. Set an intention to devote the next 60 minutes to our practice, to movement, to breathing, to focus. As your focus turns inward, notice the movement of the breath, the movement of the body, and spend the next minute or so just observing the flow of the breath. Don't try to modify it. Don't try to create any particular pattern yet. Good morning, Margaret. Observe the flow of the breath. Now let's begin to bring some conscious focus to the breath. Bringing our focus to the diaphragm, to that band of muscle that runs all the way along the base of the ribs, moving it down as we inhale, and moving it up as we exhale. Bring the hands to rest on the belly and create some resistance to the belly moving out. Just help strengthen the diaphragm. Take one more breath here. Now bring the attention to the lowest ribs and expand the lower ribs into the resistance of the hands. Release the hands back onto the thighs. And now let's begin to stretch the exhale breath out. Use that extended count on your exhale, and today I'm going to ask you to use your own count. Final round, extending the exhale breath. Let's take the arms to the side. Really notice that stacking of the spine. Inhale the arms overhead and exhale the hands back to heart center. Inhale up. Exhale back to heart center. Final time. Inhale up. And exhale back to heart center. Arms to the side, and we're going to just swing the arms in a march now for 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and 12, and hold on 12, and arc the right hand towards the left. Inhale, bring the arms back to center, to the side, and arc towards the right side. Inhale back, right, left, right, left, and right, and hold, and left, and hold. Come back, bring the arms down to the side. Let's inhale, raise the arms overhead, twist right, twist left, twist right, bring the right hand to the outside of the left thigh, and reach the right fingertips towards the left. Inhale, come back to center. Right hand to outside of left thigh. And arc across. Inhale, come back to center. Raise both arms overhead. Interlace the fingers and press the palms up towards the ceiling. Remember, as we're pressing the palms up, the shoulder blades move down the back. And if you can straighten the arms even 1 millimeter, try to do so. Bring the hands to the back of the head. Press the head into the resistance of the hands. And draw the elbows in front of the face for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Try and open the elbows out wide, and 12. Bring fingertips onto the tops of the shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Drop the shoulders, roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down, and forward, up, back, and down. You reach the fingertips out towards the side of the room. Open the thumbs back. Twist the arms so the palms face behind you. Take the right arm over the left. Fingertips onto the shoulders. Palms together. Inhale, lengthen the back and fold gently over the legs. Don't round the back. Take the whole back down as one unit. Inhale, come back to center. Unravel the arms. Forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. Reach out to the side wall. Left over right. Fingertips onto the shoulders. Fingertips either remain on the shoulders or palms come together. Lengthen the spine. Draw the sit bones back with the edge of the chair to tilt the pelvis and tilt the spine forward over the legs. Inhale, come back to center. Release the arms, go forward, up, back, and down. Check in again with your seated mountain pose. Notice the distribution of the weight, left to right, front to back. Breathe. Let's interlace the fingers and draw the right knee in towards the right shoulder. Flex and point those right toes. Circle left, or circle in one direction. And circle in the opposite direction. Cup the knee with the hands. And circle the knee. When the knee goes forward, engage the core muscles to make sure we're not rounding the back towards the back of the chair. Stop, and then go in the opposite direction. Release the right foot onto the left thigh, or bring the right foot to the edge of the left foot. So we're either here, or you can take one or two of your blocks to come midway in that, between the ankle and the knee, or the thigh. So just gently move that leg in and out, just bringing some motion into the hip and into the knee joint. Take the knee out to the side and press the hand into the knee. Try and bring as much pressure as you can onto the knee. Let's stretch that right leg out. Curl the toes in towards the shin. And you can either hold on to the edge of the chair or bring your blocks out in front. Lengthen the spine. Pull the sit bones back to tilt the pelvis forward. And bring your gaze to that point in front of the toes where your neck stays in line with the spine. The hands can come onto the blocks. Breathe here and firm up the core muscles. Those muscles we've been working on in most of our practices recently, starting right with the pelvic floor, lifting the pelvic floor, bringing that strength to the core to support the body in this forward bend. Breathe as you bend forward. Feel the stretch all the way down the back of the right leg. Inhale, come up. Bring the right leg back to center. Take the feet slightly wider than hip distance and let the knees sway on one another. Walk the feet back to center. Interlace the fingers in the non-dominant grip and draw the left knee in towards the left shoulder. Flex and point the toes. Circle in one direction and circle in the opposite direction. Hands onto the knee and begin to circle that knee. Use as much of the range of motion of the hip joint as you can. Stop and then go in the opposite direction. Stretch the left leg out in front. Draw the toes towards the shin as strongly as you can and use the muscles at the back of the leg to press the heel towards the floor. Inhale here. Use the edge of the chair to pull the sit bones back, tilting the pelvis forward. Gaze is comfortably in front of the toes, so we're not looking down or looking up. We're looking, the head is in line with, or the neck is in line with the spine. We're firming the core muscles to protect the back as we fold forward. So starting right down towards the pelvic floor, firm all the way up as we lengthen forward. I'm going to just hold this, just as we did on the other side, for a little longer than normal, to allow that whole chain of muscles and chain of connective tissue to lengthen all the way down along the back plane of the body. Inhale, come up. Now let's stretch both legs out in front. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Press the fingers into the, so we're going to press the knuckles into the seat of the chair and open the front body. So let the shoulder blades glide in towards each other on the back. And sort of holding that strong front body, let the whole upper body tilt forward. So we're folding at the crease of the hips like we're folding a sheet of paper. Again, we can bring our hands onto the blocks. The toes are curling in towards the shins. Feeling that stretch going all the way along the back line of the body. We're going to hold for another 15 seconds. And we're going to inhale, come up. Bring the heels underneath the knees. And again, strengthen that whole line of core muscles. And let's lift. Press the hands into the chair and lift away any amount. Return to the chair. And just take the feet slightly wider than hip distance and allow the feet to sway in on one another. Walk the feet back to center. Curl the toes under, or scrunch the toes and draw the heel forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then push the heel back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's come to the other foot now. Again, we're clawing the toes to pull the heel forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then digging the toes in to push back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and dig in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Come back to our seated mountain pose once more, and either find your weights, or we'll do our core work either with or without weights. So we're going to make sure that the weight is evenly situated on the sit bones, front to back, side to side. We're towards the front of our chair. We're going to begin with a cross of right over left, and lean back towards the chair. As we're leaning back, lift the pelvic floor, tighten all those core muscles, and draw yourself forward for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come forward. Release the arms to the side, go forward, up, back, and down, forward, up, back, and down. And this time, go left over right. And again, let's lift and strengthen the core muscles, lift the pelvic floor, strengthen the core. Remember, the core is going to support you each time we go back for 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, pelvic floor, strengthen the core, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and 12, and 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and back to neutral. Keep the weights in your hands, rest them just above the knees on the thighs. And so we're doing a little bit of work to strengthen the hip flexors, lifting the right leg for 1, left for 1, right for 2, 2. Have the weights as close to the knees as you can. 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. Just stop for a minute. I want everybody to really focus on those core muscles so that when we lift the leg, we're not rounding back. So we're maintaining those core muscles while we're lifting now the right leg again for 1. You probably won't go as high. 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and 12, and 12. Let's set the weights aside for the moment. Draw the heels slightly back towards the chair, and we'll finish our core work off with chair pose. So walk the feet together so the big toes touch. The heels are slightly now behind the knees. You can keep the hands on the thighs. You could even lift yourself away from the seat or stretch the arms out in front or take them overhead and lift away for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and smile. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Come back to seated mountain. Let's once again do that pose where we interlace the fingers, press the knuckles into the chair, draw the shoulder blades together, and lift the sternum. Now, let's shift ourselves towards the chair, towards the right side of our chair. I'm going to turn sideways. You can turn sideways or you can stay facing forward. Doesn't really matter. And let's open the outside leg into the center of the room and just take it to a comfortable distance. A distance where you can maintain the alignment of the thigh bone with the center of the foot, and a distance where you can maintain the knee over the heel. Rest the chair side arm on the back of the chair. Let's lift the outside arm, bend the elbow, and bring the elbow onto the knee, and twist towards the chair. Inhale, come back up. And now, let's lift the arms up to cactus, twist, the opposite direction. Bring the elbow to the knee, and either let the hand rest at the side or reach it across. Inhale, come back up to center. Now, I'm going to bring the knee below the hip. Try and roll the hip forward and try and line up the knee, the hip, the shoulders, and the ears. Again, support the front body with the core. Lift the outside arm. And reach across. We did some strengthening work on the hip flexors, and now we're going to stretch out the hip flexors. Inhale, return to center. Release the arm down and stretch that leg all the way back. Firm up the core, so start from the pelvic floor, firm all the way up, and work that leg towards straight. So we did that stretch for the muscles at the back. Now we're stretching the chain of muscles and connective tissue along the front body. So just as we did on the back, on the posterior plane, we're now on the anterior plane. We're going to hold this for a little extra time. You can lift the arm. And option to reach towards the back of the chair. Deepen the stretch. Inhale, come back to center. Let's just continue to see if we've got a bit more room to straighten that leg out. And let's release and draw that right leg in. Come back to center. And just before we go in the opposite direction, just let the knees sway in gently on one another. turn towards the opposite side. And again, take the knees to a spot where you can keep the thigh bones and feet aligned and the knees are over the heel. You can rest the chair side arm on the chair. Stretch the outside arm towards the ceiling. Arc towards the back, towards the chair. Come back to center. Take the outside elbow to the outside thigh and stretch across. Inhale, return to center. Release the arm. Take the arms up to cactus, twist. Inside, chair side elbow, chair side thigh, and reach across. Inhale, come back up to center. And now, let's take that knee down below the hip. And so we're trying for alignment with the knee, the hip, the shoulder, and the ear, all the way down that right side. Reach away, reach over the back of the chair. Inhale, come back up to center. And let's stretch that leg out behind. And try and get as much extension on the knee joint and as much extension on the hip joint as possible. Again, staying within that level of balancing ease and effort. Working to strengthen that back leg, or straighten and strengthen. Reach over, arc towards the back of the chair. Really breathe into the stretch and let the exhale breath relax and deepen the stretch. Inhale, come back to center. Strengthen the core muscles and see how that accentuates stretch in the front. We're going to hold for another 20 seconds here. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's draw that back leg in. Come back to center. And just let those knees sway gently from side to side. Now, use this before we come up to standing. Maybe take the opportunity to grab a drink, rehydrate, and let's come face the back of our chair. Come facing the back of our chair. And let's begin our standing work by placing the right foot directly in front of the left foot. So like you're standing on a balance beam. And just balance there for a moment. And then step the left foot forward and the right foot behind. Again, balancing here. And now let's step back to standing mountain pose. Feet about hip distance apart. Draw the energy up the inner line of the legs, all the way to the top of the head, and feel gravity pulling you down towards the earth. Inhale the arms overhead, and exhale forward fold. Just going to move back the feet away from the chair and come into our L pose. Try and get the feet, the hips over the feet. Stretch the body out, press the hands into the chair, roll the shoulder blades slightly away from the spine, and then roll the lower arms inward to press the base of the thumb into the back of the chair. Firm up the core to support the front body here. And now let's turn the right toe slightly out to the side and step that left foot all the way in towards the chair. Straighten the right and left legs. Build the foundation, first in the back foot and then in the front foot. So in the back foot, try and get the weight towards the outer edge and lift the arch, lift the toes, bend the knee, tracking the knee directly over the center of the foot. Strengthen the core. Lift one arm and lift the second arm for our warrior one pose. Drop the hands, lift the back heel, set both feet to meet at the back of the mat, hips over heels, stretch out. Now turn the toes of the other foot out, the left foot, step the right foot in towards the chair, straighten both legs, build the foundation, come onto the outer edge of the right foot, or left foot, sorry. Bend the knees, lift, option to lift, one or both hands. Release, Lift the back heel. Step back. And stretch out in our L pose. Once again, stepping our right knee in. This time coming onto the toes of the back foot. So align try and get the heel above the toes. Stretch out the bottom of the back foot. Bend the knee. And we're duplicating that pose. We're doing the same thing as we did when we were seated on the chair. Now coming down for runner's lunge. Supporting yourself as much or as little as you need to with the chair. Perhaps lifting one or both arms. Release. Feet come back to meet. Stretch out in our L pose. Come on. Step the left leg in. Come on to the toes of the right foot. Again, try and get the heel above the toes. Straighten the front leg. Bend in. Take the knee in. Firm up the core. Lift and lift. Release and step back to elbows. Again, option here to take the fingertips to the floor or to the shins. And again, folding only if you can do so without rounding the back. And perhaps take opposite elbows and just sway from side to side. Press into the shins to project the head forward, straighten the back. Bend the knees slightly. Inhale, come all the way up. And draw the hands back to heart center. Let's come to standing beside our chair. We'll finish off our standing work with tree pose. Building the foundation in the chair side foot. Lifting the outside heel. Opening the heel to the side, knee to the side, bringing the heel to the ankle. Up onto the calf or the inner thigh. Hands together at heart center. Open. Come back. Release. Release the foot. Take the leg behind and point the toes. Tap the toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Come back and come to the opposite side. Now press the chair side foot into the floor. Lift the heel. You can stay with the heel up, the heel on the calf, or the ankle, the calf, or the inner thigh. Hands together at heart center. Open. Firm the core. Press the leg into the foot and press the foot into the leg. Draw everything into that medial plane of the body. Return the hands to heart center. Release. Let's take that leg we just worked out behind and lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Come back to center and just release. Either support yourself or come away from the chair and circle the hips in one direction. And then circle in the opposite direction. And now let's come down to seated. Again, grab a drink, grab your blocks, and make sure that you have anything that you're going to need for final relaxation, that it's available and handy to you right now. Let's come to seated. Let's bring the blocks adjacent to the lower legs. And remember, use of the blocks here is optional if you can reach and support the fingertips on the floor. Weights evenly right to left, front to back on the sit bones. Firm up the core muscles. Inhale overhead and exhale, fold over the legs. And support the hands wherever it's comfortable for you. Direct the breath into the belly and feel the belly pressing into the thighs as it expands and contracts. Inhale, come all the way up. Draw the hands back to heart center. Let's walk the feet out into a V. Bring those blocks back into the center of the V. Inhale here. Draw the sit bones back with the edge of the chair and fold into the center of the legs. Again, coming to whatever level of the blocks is appropriate for you today, or resting the hands on the floor. Focus on the breath. We're still managing the breath, but we're letting the body slow down just a bit. We're preparing ourselves for final relaxation. Inhale, come all the way up. Take the hands overhead. Exhale, twist towards the right side. And twist gently right. Inhale, And exhale, twist left. Walk the feet back to center, or come back to center. Walk the feet back to center. And now we can slide ourselves back in our chair. Grab a drink. Make any adjustments or additions, subtractions of anything that's going to help you stay comfortable during final relaxation. Close the eyes. And let go of anything, any thoughts, anything relating to our practice this morning. And allow yourself to be completely focused on relaxation. Think about tightening all the muscles of the body and then relaxing them completely. Finding a state of relaxation that's deeper than anything you've ever experienced. Let each exhale breath take you even deeper into relaxation. Inhale. Deeper relaxed exhale. Inhale. Deeper relaxed exhale. Completely surrender the body to the shape of the chair. Let the body become fluid. Let the breath become natural and fluid. And imagine yourself beside a spring of water, cold, clear water, bubbling up from the earth. And the spring contains moss, blue, green, the deepest colors of blue and green that you've ever experienced. The water is clear, clean, and cold. The grass around the spring is deep green and lush. The deepness of the green of the grass contrasts with the bright yellow of goldenrod that's just beginning to appear. That harbinger of late summer. And now begin to deepen the breath. Move the fingers and toes. Slide yourself back towards the front of the chair. Come back to seated mountain pose. And everybody, let's take a deep breath in and sigh the exhale out through the mouth. Inhale. So that felt really good. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. Come back to a neutral spine. Lift the arms overhead with the next inhale breath. Draw the hands back to heart center. Thank you for making time for the practice today, for sharing your time and energy with each other, and for allowing me to guide you through your practice. Thank you.